Hi, Norman with iSave Tractors. Welcome to my new YouTube studio. What you're looking at behind me is my new space dedicated to just making videos to speak to you over the internet. This space used to be where we would actually pack and ship orders from, but now our business has grown so large and so busy, we now have a full-blown warehouse facility in South Portland, Maine. I am really excited about that. Since we moved to this warehouse back in October, we've now been able to take advantage of obviously more space, but as well as a really robust infrastructure that helps us manage our inventory and manage all the outgoing orders to you, the customer. So since our move in October, we've been running like a well-oiled Kohler K-Series engine. We've been trucking along, and I'm really excited. It really puts us in a good position to have another breakthrough year in 2019. Speaking of, we have tons of parts being developed and coming down the pipeline, so please be sure, if you haven't already, check out our website, iSaveTractors.com. We develop and design parts for all these vintage old small engines like the Kohler K-Series, the old cast iron Briggs, Tecumseh, Wisconsin, and Onan engines that we all love. So check it out over there. Next year I plan to double our product offering. 2019 we're going to get really aggressive and really do a lot more parts. Our motto here that I really love is I Save Tractors. We don't just sell parts, we save tractors. And as a result, I reinvest a significant portion of our profits into developing more and more new parts for all of these old tractors and engines. So please stay along for the ride for 2019. Support me through YouTube, social media, and if you can be so kind, buy from our website, or you can call me personally on the phone and order from me. We will keep this ship going, and we will save all the tractors. So we put it out there into the social media world through Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, asking our fans and followers, which hovers at around 10,000 right now. We asked our followers to submit some questions that they want to ask me for me to answer on YouTube. So our first question today is from Bo Perry. He asks, how much overall time and money did it take to build the Cub Cadet 149 loader and backhoe? Now, if you haven't seen this video series yet, I highly recommend you check it out. We'll put a card up here in this upper corner of the screen. I think it's been about 3 years now when I took an old Cub Cadet 149 and used the plans from PF Engineering. You can also check out their plans, by the way. I'll leave a link in the description below. I took this Cub Cadet 149 and these plans, and I built a backhoe and loader out of this Cub 149 garden tractor. I have it in, I think it's like 12 parts. You can watch the whole process. So Bo asked how much time and money it took. Now, unfortunately, this was one of our first YouTube projects, so I didn't do a very good job documenting everything. But I did think about it, and I think overall time was about 100 man-hours. So just under 3 weeks. Now, I did the video series over the course of, I believe, 3 months, but that's because it took a lot of time to film it and edit it, etc., and do the voiceovers for it. But if I were to do it again and I were to condense it all down to straight working on it, I think I can get it done in 2.5 weeks. It's not as time consuming as you would think when you first look at it. Now, overall cost, my best estimation, the entire cost of the entire project, including buying the welder that I used to build it, I estimate at $4,000. Now keep in mind the engine parts were from my own company, so I didn't pay retail price for those, but all the steel, hydraulics, paint, all of that other stuff I did pay retail for, and I guesstimated at around $4,000. So thanks, Bo, for that great question. Jesse Greco asks, have you considered making implements for garden tractors? And I assume he means through the I Save Tractors company, not me personally. And the answer is yes or no. So I do want to have our company develop, manufacture, and sell implements like front end loaders and backhoes and box blades. However, I haven't solved the problem of the infrastructure yet. We're currently set up to do engine parts like aluminum casting, CNC type stuff. Now to do something like fabricated steel products with welding, things like that, I have not yet solved the problem on how to do it cost effectively, and more importantly, how to ship it to different parts. So that's something I would love to do. That's on my dream list. Realistically, is it within our reach within a couple years? I don't know. It depends on how quickly and how big our business continues to grow. So if you want to see stuff like that, please support our business, and hopefully we can get there. Crankshaft Garage asks, where can you find vintage garden tractors for sale? Great question. There are 3 great ways to find these old garden tractors that I use. Now, the first 2 ways involve the computer and the internet. If you're one of my many customers out there who don't do computers, I highly recommend you do computers just to find garden tractors. And I completely understand computers, you know, they make our lives easy, but they also can make our lives very complicated. So if you're the kind of person who doesn't really like computers and modern technology, you know, that's totally cool. However, if you want to find these old garden tractors, the internet is still your best friend. Now, the 2 websites I recommend the most are Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist. Facebook Marketplace is quickly overcoming Craigslist in terms of popularity. It's easy. Most people have Facebook. If they have a smartphone, they just walk into their backyard. If they see a machine they don't want, they snap a picture of it, post it on 2 seconds later, and then that's for you to find. I also find it a lot easier to kind of filter out the kind of purchases you don't want to deal with, like with grumpy people or people who are, you know, a little less than nice. Facebook gives you that opportunity to kind of vet them out before you show up at their house or make an offer. So I really like Facebook Marketplace. Craigslist, you know, it's been around for over a decade, but it's still popular. So Craigslist, go into the lawn and garden, or I think they call it farm and garden under their for sale, and that's where a lot of garden tractors will show up there too. The third method is my personal favorite method, and that is by word of mouth and referral. Almost everybody in southern Maine who sees these garden tractors knows that I'm into this. So people will always contact me and say, hey, my neighbor has a tractor for sale. I don't know what it is. It's been hiding in the woods for 20 years. He just wants to get rid of it. I get called all the time for that. So if you want to have that kind of success and referral, I recommend get little business cards printed out that says, you know, you buy lawn and garden equipment. Pass them around everywhere. Put them up on bulletin boards. Tell all your friends. And eventually, those offers will be coming to you. And I find that the best deals are actually from that. I get called all the time. People don't know what they have. They don't know what they're selling. They just want to get rid of it. And they call me. And, you know, sometimes I get junk. But most of the time, I get gold. So Facebook, Craigslist, word of mouth. 3 best ways to find garden tractors. Andrew Mullen asks, will you ever get a John Deere 318? Also, what's your favorite tractor brand? Answer to the first question, yes, I will get a John Deere 318. I need one next year for prototyping parts, so I'm coming to get one. What's my favorite tractor brand? That's a tough question. You know, I guess it's an easy question. I like all the tractor brands. I have zero bias to any of the tractor brands. I love every color. And if you haven't seen, I did a video on 5 reasons to restore these old tractors. I'll also link that somewhere on the screen and down below, where I explain how every brand of tractor throughout the 50s, 60s, and 70s had their own unique take on solving a particular problem, like, you know, forward and reverse control of the hydrostatic transmission, braking, where they put certain functions and features. And I love that. The fact that they're all different gets me excited, so I love them all. And that applies to life too. 12 Valve Farm Truck asks, do you have any bias to engine brand? You know, that I can answer. So I do have a bias to an engine brand, and I prefer Kohler engines. Oh, I know. Now the internet universe is going to go crazy. I'm going to get a lot of Kohler toilet comments down below. But honestly, the Kohler engine, in terms of popularity, they won the day back in the 60s and 70s. There are more Kohler engines powering equipment like garden tractors, log splitters, industrial equipment than any other engine. It's the truth. And that's why our business does so well, and that's why I like them. If you need a part that we don't make or you can't find, the chances are you can find a used one off our Kohler engine is much higher. Also, I like the way the Kohler engine does the crank bearings. I like the way they do the block, their carburetors. I like everything about it. I've always preferred the Kohler engines. And you'll notice that on this YouTube channel, I tend to work on tractors that are powered by Kohler engines. And not just the single-cylinder Kohler engines, but also the 2-cylinder cast iron engines like the K532 in our John Deere 400. That's my favorite engine. You know, I like the other engines, and I've worked on all the brands throughout my kind of small engine career, but I always come back to liking the Kohlers. Hey, if you have a question you want me to answer in the next question and answer video, please comment them below. I'll save them and I'll bring them back up. I really like doing this, so please ask away. Man, I get so fired up talking about tractors. Love this. Camera's still running. Let's keep talking about tractors. I love it. Motor Madness asks, what happened to your John Deere half-track build? Well, so funny story. So I decided that morning to make this John Deere half-track project. I had some extra steel. I had these chains, and at the time I think I just needed to pump out a YouTube video. So I made this, and I had no idea it would get so popular. I think it has like 250,000 views at this time. And you know, I used it, and then I started to use it hard, and I really tested it. Now, since this was kind of a last-minute thing, I admit it wasn't the most well thought out, engineered half-track build. It looked cool, and it did work a little bit, but when I really push came to shove, I actually bent one of the axles on the idler wheels. So it's broken right now, in short. That's why there hasn't been any videos or updates. And since I made it in a last-minute kind of whim, my heart really wasn't into it. I wasn't that excited about it, so I just moved on to other projects. However, now that I know everybody, you know, likes it, I am gonna go back to it after my next project, and I'm gonna re-engineer those idler wheel axles, do everything properly, and it's gonna be back on this channel, and then I'm gonna show you guys all of it in action. So be patient, stay tuned, and thanks for asking. Well, there you have it. I think I covered everything. So exciting news with iSave Tractors, answered some of your questions. I'm really excited for 2019. Next year, I'm really gonna step on the pedal and really make this business soar and grow to heights that, you know, I never would have imagined. And I sincerely thank you all for supporting this business, supporting me on social media and YouTube. Together, we can save the tractors, and I thank you. Once again, my name is Norman. See you next time.